Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tarot for Kindness. It's me, Madam Pamita, with my wonderful colleague and friend, Miss Kelly, the astrologer. It's that thing. It's that time again. First Sunday of the month. You know what that means. You get a bonus astrological view of your question along with your tarot view coming from me. That's exciting. How are you doing, Miss Kelly?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired. I'm working on book manuscript right now. I have to get it in by Thursday, so I'm a
You
little
got
cuckoo.
this. You got this.
I'm a little cuckoo. I don't think I'm going to be coming into the office much this week. You know, that week when something's due, I'm always
Oh,
like
yeah.
not really working at home. Um, want to tell everybody. I know you've been doing some readings, in-person readings at the Eye of the Cat,
I
aren't you?
have in Long
Yeah.
Beach. Yeah. Fridays and Saturdays. Come on down. Come see me.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you can find out when she's doing her events. I mean, you do a lot of readings also at your markets and things that you um, participate in. And
Always.
so if you want to follow Miss Kelly on Instagram, you can find out where she's doing her thing, right? Do you post
Yeah,
about all whenever
I
you're
do. Post
yeah,
all my events, post all the spots I'll be out. I
yeah,
try to pin a calendar at the top of my feed too.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Um, we are going to be doing readings for you today. So glad to see you guys here. We're going to be, it's just called Tarot for Kindness. We meet here every Sunday and we do readings. 100% of the donations go to feed seniors in Ukraine, $10 per card. $40, just a 4-card reading feeds a senior in Ukraine for 2 weeks. These are people that have nothing when they deliver the food. Oftentimes there's no food available. These are people who are disabled. They're in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. They're very, very much in need. It's really such a wonderful kindness for you guys to be making those donations. So today we're going to be running only for maybe about an hour. So you want to get those donations in quickly because I have to go back to working on my book. I have to answer a few emails. I did a bunch of spell work this week and I have to get those emails with the pictures out to people. And so I got a lot on my plate, so I'm only going to be here for about an hour myself. I'm sure Miss Kelly has some fun things that she wants to do on a Sunday night. So we're going to be here for about an hour. So get your order in now. What you have to do to get a reading with us, and you can get a reading with us right now, is make that donation. You can make a donation on Venmo or PayPal. Or if you're on YouTube, you can make it on Super Chat, which is the little button down below that looks like a dollar sign, dollar bill, not dollar sign, dollar bill. You can make your donations there. Then once you've made your donation, wherever you're watching us, just go into the chat and type in where you made your donation, how much you donated, and what your question is, and birthday information, because we want to be able to give you that astrological little bonus freebie at the end where Miss Kelly is going to give some astrological advice to go along with the tarot advice. So you want to put all those things into your chat message. If you don't have it, we'll bug you for it. But for sure, tell us how much you donated, where you donated, and so we can check up on it. And then also give us your question and your birthday so we can do that reading. If you're asking a question about another person, then having their birthday is very handy. So if it's, how is my mom doing, or give us your mom's birthday. If it's a relationship question, give us both of your birthdays, because that can tell Miss Kelly a lot about the connection between you and someone else. Right? Am
Yeah.
am I right about that?
Oh, yeah.
Um, so anyway, this is your opportunity to get those readings in, make your donations, get those in. We're only going to be here for an hour today. We've already, spent 8 minutes or so talking, 4 minutes, I guess. But we're not going to be here that long today because I have to get back to working on other things. And so we want to raise as much money as possible in the fast amount of time possible, because we don't want those seniors to go hungry this week. We want to still be able to give them some food. And this is the way we do that. We work with Subotin Harbor. Subotin Harbor is our friend in Kyiv, Yulia Subotina. She is there doing her team right now. She's actually on vacation this week with her son, but her team is making deliveries. So the deliveries will still continue even while she's gone this week. But she's the coordinator for all of that. And She was on a couple weeks ago. She's lovely. And yeah, so you can make those donations. We'd love to get those donations from you. So go ahead and do that. While we're waiting for those donations to come in, I'm going to tell you about the deck that I'm going to be using today. It is a new deck that just came out called the Bee Tarot by Christopher Hughes. Beautiful big box. I'm obsessed with bees. I've always been obsessed with bees. Of course I'm obsessed with bees. I make beeswax candles. Of course I'm obsessed. I've attempted to have beehives. I haven't had a successful beehive yet, but I always kind of give it a go every couple of years and try and get that going. But this is a gorgeous deck with beautiful imagery. I'm going to show you a little bit. It comes with a deck was put out by Llewellyn, by the way. Christopher Hughes, I got to tell you a little bit about him. He is a Welsh druid, young guy who's a Welsh druid in Wales, lives in Wales. But he is also a super famous drag queen in Wales. Like he's like the number one. Yeah, it's like the number one. I don't know if he's been on RuPaul UK or anything like that, but he's big. He's a big deal. So in the drag world, he's also very big. But he's just a lovely human, so friendly and nice, really wonderful, wonderful human. And this is a gorgeous deck. So the deck comes with a big book with it. Comes with a nice box with a little design and a ribbon to hold your cards and all of that. The book is really a hefty book. It's a nice big book. And he's got color pictures of the images of the cards, big color pictures of the images of the cards. So look at that. You got lots of descriptions, pictures, very beautifully illustrated book. The deck is absolutely gorgeous. Let's see. He's got like all kinds of different like names for things, like the Judgment card is rebirth. And everything is very bee-centric, but there's tons of beautiful, beautiful images. Look at the sun card. Gorgeous. I love it. So it's bees, beekeepers, beehives. The tower has wasps on it. Look at that. It's such a delightful deck. Delightful deck. Look at the wheel. It's like a little garden.
that's
I just love it. Beautiful and magical. And it's really about this, he's a druid. So he's about, these ancient beekeeping practices and beekeeping lore and legends. And bees in many, many cultures are considered divine messengers. So it's a really, it's a very deep deck and a very beautiful deck. Cards are a little thin for my liking, but they're nice and flexible and have a good texture so they don't stick together. I wish they were a little thicker. They're a little papery, but not bad. Yeah. But the images are so beautiful on them. Gorgeous. Really, really beautiful. Look at these. Look at this guy. This is the Emperor.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Bee beard. Yeah, so it's got these really beautiful images, bee images. The print is also, I'm giving you my critique as I give it. I love it. It's a great deck. I wish the cardstock was a little thicker, but it's not bad. It's flexible. It's nice. But also the print is really tiny at the bottom. For my old eyes, that's a little hard. I'm gonna have to get my glasses out for this one. So I can see what I'm looking at. Here we go. All right, everyone. We got some bee glasses, almost like bees, right? My bee glasses. Yeah, now I can read it with my glasses on. So yeah, it's got people, it's got bees, beekeepers. Look at the devil. Oh, look at the devil. The devil is a beekeeper who's just keeping a bunch of beehives and collecting money. Doing beekeeping for the money. That's the devil. I think this is the Hierophant. Instead of the Hierophant, we have the Delphic bee.
Oh, ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that is very cool. Do you have a favorite card that you
that I always go to.
Yeah.
Like if I'm looking something up. Ooh, what do I like to look up? I like the temperance card.
See if I can find that.
Okay. You always got to look at death and the devil. Ooh, and the tower. What's the tower?
Tower is wasps. It's kind of cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. The wasps. Oh, the lovers is the honeymoon.
Aw.
That's cute. Hmm. The high priestess is the Melissa. It's really cool.
Ooh, that's
Okay.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, like there's so much bee lore in here. You get to learn about bees as you work through this deck, work with this deck. You're going to learn. And there's a lovely book to guide you through. Here's your tower card.
Let's see. Ooh, that's interesting. I like that.
So it's a hive, but it's wasp.
Lightning struck hive, beehive. Yeah.
Yeah, those are wasps falling down. The devil you already saw.
What's the death card look like?
I'm trying to find it. It might have a weird name, so I might miss it.
Right.
I can always look in the book.
Like a transformation name instead, probably.
Here's death. So death is
Oh, wow.
but this is really interesting. Can I tell you a little bee story? This is like so
Yeah.
appropriate that I'm using this deck. So there's this concept in a lot of cultures about telling the bees. It shows up in a lot of Celtic influenced cultures. So it shows up in Slavic cultures and it shows up in English lore that's been influenced, I'm sure, by Scots and Irish and Welsh people who are the Celts. English aren't Celtic people. So when somebody, the beekeeper, dies, you are supposed to tell the bees so the bees don't abscond and leave the hive, right?
I've
So
heard that. Yes.
yeah, so you're telling of the bees is like you tell the bees your beekeeper's dead, but you've got a new master now, and keep making honey, keep staying here, and you just let the bees know what if there's a marriage, a death in the family, or a birth in the family, right? So this practice, even when Queen Elizabeth died, she had royal hives that were kept by the royal hive keeper, the hive master, I don't know what they would call him, and the royal beekeeper, I guess. So he told the bees that Queen Elizabeth had died, and there's little articles about it, right, that he told them. Well, my boyfriend's uncle was a beekeeper back in the day, hadn't been keeping bees for probably a couple decades now because he was in his 90s. But after he died on Monday, and then on Wednesday, a swarm appeared in his trees and stuck around for 2 days. So Manfred, my boyfriend, wasn't up there, but his brother was up there. And so we told the brothers, you need to tell the bees
Yeah.
that their master has gone. Yeah.
Aww.
It was so sweet. Oh, look so the fool is the keeper, the beekeeper.
Ah, that's
Cute.
clever.
Okay, I did not see temperance, so it must be named something else. I don't know. All right, so if you guys would like a reading with these beautiful bee cards, make your donations. You can donate through PayPal. You can donate through Venmo. Once you donate, let us know in the chat that you've made a donation, and we will do a reading. We are only going to be here for another, like, 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Yeah, about that. So you got some time, but not too much time. So don't wait too long to get those donations in. And then go ahead and put in chat where you donated, how much you donated, what your question is, and what your birthday is, or the birthdays of any pertinent people that are involved, because you are going to not only get a reading for $10 per card, but you're also going to get a little astrological viewpoint of the question from Miss Kelly. So she'll give you her wise and wonderful astrological reading, which is, you are like a crowd favorite. Everyone's like, when you're not here, when's Miss Kelly going to be back?
Love it.
No offense to whoever's with me, but they're always saying, we want astrological information. It's such a great thing. I mean, it's such a wonderful way to know yourself or to know the people around you, how, it's astrology is like a wonderful tool. even if you know a little bit about astrology, like you know the sun signs and the different characteristics of the sun signs, and you find out someone's sun sign, you can know a lot about who they are and how to interface with them and what makes them tick,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
So that can be a really good tool, and learning a little bit about yourself and getting, I think getting a reading, just like any reading, like if you have something important, get it from somebody who's a professional. There's all kinds of things online where you can get a free tarot reading from a computer or a free astrological reading from a computer, but that doesn't tell you much because it doesn't have the nuanced information that a real reader can access intuitively. You know, even with a an astrological reading, which you think wasn't intuitive at all, I think there's an intuition element that goes in it. I mean,
Oh,
do
for
you
sure.
have, you know, you know, a Scorpio who's super loyal, or a Scorpio who's super vindictive, or a little bit of both, you know, that you're dealing with in a situation? And also too, a good reader can advise you how to lean into your strengths, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's
And
a
it's
big
the,
part.
it's the ability to tell the story, right? With tarot, with the astrology, it's pulling it all together rather than just reading the data.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's an intuitive element that goes in that. How do you lean into your strengths? And you're such a, I mean, I think that's one of the things that you do in your astrological readings, which is, um, you know, look at people's strengths based on their sign and what transits are happening and things are happening. You can do a very insightful, very nuanced, very detailed reading with people. And the feedback that you have been getting, I've been hearing from people is like, oh my gosh, I had a session with Miss Kelly. It was amazing. um, you know, so I think it's a wonderful little gift that you're coming on here on the first Sunday of the month and giving these readings in addition to the tarot readings that we're doing. All right, you guys, it's time to get your orders in, get those donations in. You got a question, you can ask anything, really. You can ask, I mean, don't ask when am I going to die or some silly question. That's like a dumb question. People sometimes who don't have experience with tarot card readings, like you go to a party or something, when am I going to die? I'm like, that's not something you look at with tarot.
That's right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's not something you look at with tarot. So, but you know, if you have a question about something that's going on in your life, something that you are experiencing, it could be career related, it could be relationship related, it could be about plans and dreams, anything like that. What are you, you know, one thing I can't do like in a reading is people will ask me about like world events. Some people are really good at world event stuff.
Right. Reading for the collective. Yeah. I'm like, ugh.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I really can't. I get too, I don't have, I say that I can do a reading for the person that is quote unquote sitting in front of me, or, you know, asking for the reading, and one degree of separation. But world events are influenced by so many things, and they don't seem to really, it doesn't really seem to flow to me. But some people are really good at that and not so good at the personal things. So, you know,
Yeah, no, that's true. And the same with astrology. I think there's some astrologers that really nail it and are great at world events, and others are just, it's not your
yeah,
fault.
but they may not be so great at doing
Yeah.
events for, you know, people, just, you
Yeah.
know,
Same.
individuals, or sensing or intuiting what the individual needs, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think you get, you know, different styles of reading.
Hmm.
I think you know, in looking at, when you, what is your favorite kind of astrological reading?
Ooh, that's a good question. I like exploring, like what you're talking about. Like, what are your strengths? How can we lead into your chart? How do you work with your chart and help make it work for you? How to see it as a map rather than, all these things happening at you or to you, right? Like Mercury goes retrograde and everybody freaks out and blames Mercury for everything rather than saying, oh, Mercury's retrograde. How am I going to work with that?
Yeah,
What can I do?
exactly.
And I'm like, you should be calling up friends that you haven't talked to in a long time. It's a great way to work with Mercury
Great.
retrograde, things
Yeah.
like that, right? You should be paying attention to your dreams, stuff like that, rather than, I mean, and I, as an astrologer, get caught up in the big collective drumbeat. I can be like, oh shit, Mercury went retrograde, and I have to calm myself down and think, what am I doing?
Well, I think it's an interesting thing about our culture too. It's like that we're go, 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 forward, 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 change, change, change. I mean, we're all about that
Yeah.
instead of taking cycles of rest and work, you know? Um,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
so if
the
you're
cosmos is asking us to do that all the time. Time to slow down. We're certainly not allowed to right now. We're in an era where you just can't.
yeah, yeah,
You're
you're
really
on the
being
go.
forced to push it forward. So yeah,
You
finding different ways to honor that is important.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I really think that I agree 100%. You know, it's another thing too, I think with the this all this TikTok stuff that goes on and people post little, clips of things and people post things that get lots of views are things that are very dramatic and things like saying, "Oh my gosh, the eclipse," or, "Oh my gosh, Mercury
Yes.
retrograde." It gets a lot of clicks because people are doing like, creating drama, right? And drama gets clicks. So
Yes.
then we have now all the situation. I was just going to say, I had a client that I'm doing a bunch of spell work for because she had an astrological reading where the woman, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" You should have gone
Oh
to Miss
no.
Kelly.
Oh
She had an
no.
astrological reading where someone said to her, every part of your life is going to be shit for the next year. And I'm like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you serious?"
Wow. Really?
Yeah, and
Wow.
then she just left her with that, and I'm like, "Oh my god." That's no way to do a reading.
No. Ooh.
It's awful, and I never do a reading like even if I have a bunch of hard
I
cards in
always
there,
think
like, how
that's
do you work with that energy, right? Like, if something's
yeah.
been rough, like, how do you work with it? Not just drop something in someone's lap and say, "Your life is gonna be crap for the next
That sounds a
12
little bit
months."
like maybe an experience too, right? From her, I don't know. I'm guessing.
I know, no, but
Like, if
also
you're
yeah,
inexperienced or you don't have enough, you haven't, lived enough, sometimes you see a transit coming and it just seems terrible. Oh my gosh, it's the tower card. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. But if you're doing it all the time, like if you're pulling a card every day, when you get the tower on a daily pull, that doesn't mean your life's going to go down the tubes that day. It just means something else. Like for me, if I do that, usually I end up getting like something will click in my head that day, in a very tower way, and I'll be like, oh
yeah,
my
it could
gosh,
be
like, and
that
it'll
person.
shift the way I think about something, or but my life's not falling apart because I'm the same thing with astrology,
Yeah.
you know. But
I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah,
tell you that like that tower card moments, I have can bring the best things too.
yes, yeah,
Even the thing that you're looking at that you're like so upset about can actually have a gift in it. Like, I mean, my recent thing, which was I broke the old website and I had to make a new website. I was so mad about it and so overwhelmed by it, but it turned out to be the best thing because now the new website works super well. There we go. Link to our new website. You can check it out
yeah.
right there. So the new website is working really well. We're still getting some of the details hammered out, but like in terms of shopping, you're fine. Booking appointments, you're fine. All of those things um, are very easy to do now and work really well. So a few things are on not on the customer experience and the customer experience and it's amazing for our end. We have to, work through some things and we're still adding some details on descriptions and adding blog posts and things like that. But the site is up and functional and ready to go. So yeah, so you should go check out the website. But I'm telling you, that was a tower card moment where I just did one
Right,
little thing and I broke the design of our old website. I'm like, "Oh
right,
my
and the
god."
whole foundation shifted, right? It's like
Yeah,
boom.
that was but it turned out to be the absolute best thing. I was mad at it when it happened, mad at myself for doing it, but, ultimately it turned out to be a great gift because things are much, much more streamlined
Yeah.
and better and, all of those things. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so if you wanna get a reading from us, we're doing readings here. $10 per card. All 100% of your donation goes to feed seniors in Ukraine. We're only gonna be here for another 35 minutes or so. So, you wanna get it in now so you can get your reading in, and, we'll be happy to do it. Not only do you get a reading for $10 per card, so if you make a $30 donation, you get a 3-card reading, $40 donation, you get a 4-card reading. But you also get an additional,
I gotta click off for one sec. I'll be right back.
okay, that's all right. You get an additional astrological reading from Miss Kelly, who is here joining us, our resident astrologer at the Parlor of Wonders. So Um, yeah, it's a amazing little bonus there. Great value, by the way. You know, when you're doing a reading, like if you get a 4 card reading, that's definitely a value and helps feed a senior for 2 weeks. So I'd love to do that for you. Oh, okay. Hi, Erica. Thank you so much. Um, Thank you so much for your donation. Erica, we need to have your birthday so that we can add your astrological stuff too. And if you know the guy's birthday too, that would be great. You might not know him if it's new, but if you do know his birthday, that would be great. Or even if you don't know his birthday, his sun sign, if you know his sign, that can also be really good. So go ahead and pop that into the chat as well. All right. Thank you for your donation. Erica donated $10. That's a 1 card reading. Thank you so much, Erica. All right, let's take a look at this. I got to put my glasses on for that tiny print. Okay.
Well, Erica, can you put your birth year too, please, if you can? Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. I like this a lot. So here's what we've got: 9 of Jars, which I am assuming is 9 of Cups. 9 jars of honey. Yeah, I mean, this looks similar to the right away in a garden, right? This card in I'm sorry, 9 of Cups must be 9 of Cups. Let me make sure. Gonna make sure before I start reading. Where's that book? Oh, there it is. Where's the book? What did I do with it? Oh, it's back in the other box. Sorry, I got 2 boxes of cards open. All right, let me make sure jars are, yes, element of water. Okay, so this is 9 of Cups. All right, so 9 of Cups represents, let me put this card back up again. 9 of Cups represents having abundance. Like when we see the 9 of Cups, this is 9 of Jars. 9 of Cups represents having everything that you want, like having checking all the boxes on a relationship. So I think this relationship has a lot of, I mean, I could say this corny thing, but that it has a lot of sweetness in it, right? That there's this idea that you have all of the things that you want in this relationship, all of this person checks all of your boxes and you check all of their boxes. So this can be a very satisfying relationship. Whatever it is that you're hoping for in relationship, whatever it is that they're hoping for in relationship can really come to fruition. Some people call this the wish card. It's called the wish card. It's like your wish is coming true. So this is a very positive sign about this relationship and what it can offer you. I think of it as being like, also too, if we look at that 9 of Cups energy, it's got a lot of like generosity. He's got 9 cups. He's got a banquet table behind him. So this is like a lovely way to really get that, like, share that love with others around you. I think you're, going to fall in love with each other and really have this very special sweetness that is going to rub off on other people. When you see lovers and they're happy and optimistic and they're gaga in love and the relationship is happy, it kind of makes everyone around you happy. So I love seeing this. It's a very lovely, sweet card. It's really getting all that you want out of this relationship. So I love that. What do you have for the astrology?
I see lots of big trines. So trines are big triangles, and that is really easy flowing energy. It's like a gift almost. Getting along really easy. There's probably going to be a sense of feeling like you've known each other for a long time, or real ease, like a genuine friendship can be formed, which is really nice. And I see that with a lot of stuff. With both of your sons do that. Your son and his moon does that, which is always a good connection. Like the Venus and Mars elements are kind of doing that with each other as well. Let's see. And then we want a little friction, so let's see where that might be. Mars and Venus trine, and then Mars. Oh, okay, so Mars Venus, that's kind of good. So you've got like this Mars Venus opposition happening between you guys too, which is great because that's a little chemistry and friction. So you want that, like, opposites attract. So that's nice. Like there's a lot of There's a lot of nice stuff going on there.
Yeah, it's
I like
reflecting
it.
that card. There's a lot of ease about 9 of cups that's like, satisfaction with each other, checking all the boxes, right? It's really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Really, really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, good job. Good job in finding each other, Erica and
Mhm.
Fella. All right, we've got another one. Roger. Roger has a question. Um, okay. All right. But I heard it might take 2 to 3 months before I hear something. My gosh. Talk about bureaucracy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 2 to 3 months. It just seems like bureaucratic nonsense. All right. Well, let's take a look and see what that's all about. Um, what do you have to worry about? Getting bored, waiting to hear back. 2 to 3 months. It seems so long. Goodness gracious. You know what? I just got an intuitive hit about that 2 to 3 months. It's a budget thing. It's like they have to get the budget, or the budget is going to be, where will we be in 2 to 3 months? I guess it's the budget's going to be allocated for that position or whatever. That's what's going on there. All right. Wow. I mean, think about this for a second. Like 2 to 3 months is a long time. Like, what if someone's looking for a job because they don't have a job? Goodness gracious, That's wild. Okay, let's see what we got here, Roger. Oh, kiddo, you got this in the bag. This is in the bag. Ace of Pentacles is the card that comes up. Ace of Pentacles always represents a job being handed to you. It's when I see pentacles meaning yes, the job is being handed to you. It could not be a more direct message of you got this. So it's a budgetary thing, and pentacles would reflect that as well. But that's what I'm really picking up, is that this is a budget issue, and that's why they're having to wait so long to bring this role on board, or to do that. Or maybe the person is still there, I don't know, in that position or whatever it is. But I'm telling you, you got this job. It's yours 100%. This card, whenever this card shows up, it's new job. I mean, always Ace of Pentacles. So I don't think there's anything. Oh, the fiscal year end by the end of this month, and then starts in July. Yeah, that's something budgetary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's why that thing is happening, and this is the reason it's taking 2 to 3 months. But you got it in the bag. You just have to wait. That's all. That's all. Keep that ace. You know what? If you have a tarot deck, get out the Ace of Pentacles and put it on your altar, or get a picture online and print it out and put that on your altar. That's exactly the card you need. It's new job energy all the way. Love that. Love it. So good. Yeah. So what do you have for anything for Roger based
Well,
on astrology?
quickly I'm seeing, well, Jupiter, the planet of luck and going big and all of that, that just hit Gemini. And Roger has Venus in Aquarius, so he's going to be getting this big trine coming up over this whole year. Jupiter is going through Gemini for the next year, so that's great. So it's like a waxing moon, right? So it's waxing and it's coming towards Venus. That's what rules money. Rules money in
Wonderful.
your chart, which is great. And also, it'll be trining your sun right now, or coming up. So you're going to get this. It's going to hit your sun first, and then towards the end of the year, it'll be coming up and getting Venus, which means that's probably after you've been working for a little bit and you start to get that influx of money, right? That
Yeah.
windfall starts to come in.
When is it coming this through his son, or whatever you were saying, his
Right
son?
now, so in the next, let's see, I can see exactly. So his son is 5. So we've got, where are we
I'm just
going?
curious if it's like in
Right.
2 or 3 months.
Oh no,
Not
it's fast. Let's see, Jupiter, like end of this month.
I'm wondering if it's going to happen sooner than 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, like boom.
Yeah. This is really, I mean, this is really
Yes.
good for this. Yeah, I mean, everything's lining up. Your astrology's lining up. The cards are saying absolutely yes. I mean, you can, yes, get a picture of that Ace of Pentacles and carry it in your
That's a good
wallet.
idea.
This is another way you can just do a little magic, and it's so powerful. You can print out a picture of the Ace of Pentacles online, print it out in your computer printer,
Mhm.
um, and then cut out that picture, and then on the back write your wish of what you want, and then put it in your wallet or put it on an altar if you have an altar. But your wallet can be your place, because that's where your money represents money, your wallet. So it'd be a good place for you to put that, and do that little bit of magic. That could be a great thing.
You can
So
definitely and do things to Jupiter. You could make pay homage to Jupiter. Go to where what would be some good Jupiterian places to visit, like anything that's really big, any kind of big monuments. You could go and leave an offering to Jupiter, like
yeah,
hello,
yeah,
yeah,
I wonder what that would
anything
be.
or anything big and gaudy.
Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Go
Yes, something like that, or anything, whatever's local to you, or whatever you think of like that. Or you could even look at pictures of stuff like that, like stuff that makes you think of Jupiter, just to make Jupiter happy.
Or
Look, I'm thinking
you
of
can
you.
make a little Jupiter altar by
Yeah.
printing out an image of Jupiter. Like, oh, you know what? I think, Roger, you're in the LA area, right? Go to the Getty Villa.
Ooh.
Getty Villa is going to have Jupiter. I'm sure it's going to have a
Yes.
Jupiter statue somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
What a funny thing. You could make a little, like, I don't know, just hang out at that statue. I mean,
Put a little flower by it, or write a little note, or yeah.
there's indoor and outdoor stuff all over the place
Yeah.
there. But um, what would be so, think about this, man. I I really have never thought of this before, but when you go to see those statues from ancient Rome and ancient Greece, which they have lots of them at the Getty, um, think about this, that they are from the times when people were worshiping these gods.
Yeah.
It's kind of got some really good energy, really, along those lines. You're not just looking at an image that is a copy. You are looking at something that existed 2 or 3,000 years ago, and represented these very living gods to these people. So I think that would be kind of an amazing thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Kind of cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Reconnect with all that. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So Getty Villa, it's free to go. All you do is get your parking, uh, free parking pass or whatever it is, or take the bus up there and to
Is
Malibu.
it free?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't realize. Or maybe you have to like pay for some of it, some exhibitions, or no, none of them.
maybe, but
It's
I
like a
I
special
think
one.
it's just paying for parking at the
Okay.
regular Getty, and
Yeah.
if you take the bus, then you don't have to pay for parking. At
Yeah.
the
It's been a
Getty,
while since I've been.
yeah, but Getty Villa, you have to get a parking reservation because they have limited
Oh,
parking there.
yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, you guys, if you would like a reading, you can have a reading right now. Just go ahead and make a donation over Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat. Then jump into the chat and tell us where you made your donation, where you made it, how much you made of a donation, because you can get one card reading like Roger and Erica did. Or you can get a 2 card reading, 3 card reading, 4 card, 5 card, 6 card, 10 card, 15 card, whatever you want. We can do it. So happy to do it. And we're so thankful for you and your donations and how they help our seniors in Ukraine. We've got half a senior fed right now. We've got $20. We need to get to that $40 to feed one senior. So at least make a donation for 2 cards and we can get at least one senior fed this week. Be a lovely thing to do. They're really counting on Subotin Harbor, and Subotin Harbor is counting on you guys. That's why we're here, so that we can do this. So yeah, Getty Villa. Now I'm thinking about like, oh, I've never actually like thought of that. Maybe other people, I'm sure other people have thought of it.
No, that's good though. I love it. I love the idea of
I mean, if you go like hang out with those statues of those old Greek gods and goddesses, Roman gods and goddesses, you're like, they were real, alive, people were worshiping those gods when those statues were made. It's kind of, unless they're fakes, I don't know. No, Getty was kind of known. This is a really funny thing. First of all, there's a whole thing. I'm obsessed with, I must have been an art forger in a past life because I'm kind of with art forgery. I just love reading about it. I'm not doing it or anything like that. But I've always I think I like the idea of the challenge for the artist to like get everything right. It's like how like people like true crime and things like that. I like art forgery. That's my true crime. So, because it's, not killing anybody, right? So anyway, if you look at art forgery, and they say that an astonishing number of art pieces in museums are forgeries. It's like 30%.
Wow.
It's some huge number, 25%, 30%. It's wild. Like you're going like, what? What? Because if you're a good forger, it never gets caught. And so I love reading books about like art forgery. So anyway, going back to Getty Villa, Getty himself, who was the art collector, was notoriously cheap. He was the richest man in the world at the
Right.
time that he was alive, but he was notoriously cheap. So much so that when his son was kidnapped, he's like, no, I'm not giving any money to get my son. He wouldn't pay money to get his son back.
And he lost an ear.
And his son lost an ear.
Or a finger, right? Or no, his ear.
His ear was chopped
yeah.
off. He nailed it. God, it's awful, right?
But his son was involved in the kidnapping. You haven't heard that part of the story?
Oh no, I
He
gotta watch
was
that.
in on it when it started.
Oh
And
crap.
then it went south, right?
Probably because he wasn't giving his son any money.
Right,
It,
but he was in on it in the beginning, and then the whole thing got twisted, and yeah, it's awful.
well, Getty also had phones in his house that were like, the phones in his house were all pay phones. So if you went to his house, you had to pay a dime to make a phone call. You couldn't make a free phone call in his house. Is that wild? So
No.
anyway, when he was buying art, he would buy artists by their name, but he would which says no wonder he was rich. So he would buy artists by name, but he would buy the cheapest piece of art by that person that he could get. So if it
Oh,
was
that's
like Van
neat.
Gogh, he'd buy the cheapest Van Gogh. If it was like I don't know, um, I don't know, whatever artist
You
you
know,
could.
he never came to LA to see it. He never visited the
Getty Villa.
yeah, never came out. It was all done remotely. He
I
had
thought he
somebody else was he commissioned people to do it, and they would talk to him and send him pictures and stuff,
smiled.
but he never visited
Well, he built the
because
Getty
he was so cheap.
the Getty Villa is gorgeous
Yeah.
because he modeled it. I mean, whoever he got to do it, I don't know how he talked him into doing it, probably for cheap, but it looks gorgeous because it is designed to look like a Roman villa. So it's got these pools and gardens, and I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful
Mhm.
place. It's a beautiful space, and it's so peaceful and serene. But there's all these statues. But I mean, like some of them might not be real. That's what I'm saying. What is it getting to? It's like I was thinking about, like, well, maybe they're real, but maybe they're not. But hopefully, if you find a bunch of Jupiter statues at the Getty Villa, maybe one of them will be real. All right, Jane, thank you, Jen. Jen made a donation. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Jen. We're only going to be here for another 15 minutes, you guys. If you want a reading, you got to get it now. Thank you so much. Looking for guidance for the week. Oh, our little Aquarius baby. Little Aquarius baby born in the middle of the night. Wow. Okay. Let's take a look. Let's see. Guidance for the week. I gotta put my glasses back on so I can read these. Okay. Okay, look what we got for the week here. I'm saying this, you got a week that's got some challenges in it, but there is a solution in this deck. The first card is the solution, really. It's the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles, look at that old druid, that Holly King there. Green Man. So beautiful. I love this deck. This is so beautiful and magical. I love all the things that you can look at. So oftentimes when I see 10 of Pentacles, I think of it as being ancestors, ancestor magic. And I think that's Jen, for you, that's what you want to lean into this week. Any kind of ancestor magic or working with your ancestors. It could also mean that family members, especially elder family members, are really going through a tough time right now. And you might have to be there for them because the Tower card is showing up after that. Tower card shows these wasps and this wasp nest that's got lightning striking it. So it can mean things are going to be shaken up in some way, but it has to do with, I think, leaning on your ancestors' spirits, but also maybe the elder members of your family are having some hard times right now, and you might have to step in for them. Five of Jars, which is Five of Cups, is your third card too, which is looking back. I'm wondering if this is really about like a family member who may have some regrets about the past or regrets about things, that they've done, and there's something that shakes it up in some way, if that makes sense to you. They may be reflecting and looking back at things that didn't, they wish they shoulda, woulda, coulda. Um, they may, have a shocking experience that makes them reflect in that way. But I think you can be that if you want to be that person that's there to help them. I mean, it doesn't mean any obligation to do so. But I do think that working with your ancestors this week is going to be really helpful for writing this out and leaning on those ancestors as you deal with this. Is there something going on that you know of, Jen, with your elders in your family, people in your family that are older than you, that looks like maybe shaking things up a little bit and making them reflect a little bit on things of the past? You might want to, if you want, drop it into chat. While you're doing that, Miss Kelly's going to do some
Hmm. Yeah.
astrology.
So it's funny. Everybody so far has had something at 5 degrees Aquarius in their chart. So I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So Jupiter's lighting that up for everybody. But if we're doing like ancestor work, I kind of love that because right now the moon's nodes are in Aries and Libra. So and your moon is in Aries. So when the nodes come around and they're talking to you about karma, they're talking to you about past lives, they're talking to you about what you're doing with your life now. So the fact that it's touching your moon means it's a lot of internal work that you're being asked to do, and that's been probably going on for a little bit for you. But it's a really good time to um, work with that reading and start talking to your family about things that went on in the past. Maybe, looking at, generational issues that might be coming up that might be affecting you right now. The South Node has a lot to do with a lot of astrologers like to say past lives, but it could be past families' lives, right? Generational things that are passed down and affect us. And then the North Node is what we're doing about it. And that, is sitting right there on top of your moon right now, the North Node, like your karma of now, what you are meant to be working on right now. And having it in Aries sometimes can feel a little hard because Aries asks us to do things, kind of strike out on our own and just do it for yourself. So kind of, I've got the North Node in Aries. So sometimes it's like, this is hard. I don't want to have to be by myself and do it. But you're really being asked to kind of step up and do some solitary exploration of that, within yourself, and decide what it is you really want to do for yourself rather than relying on past, what am I trying to say? Like past things that are like healing that trauma, that generational stuff so that you
Yeah.
can work on your own things. I hope that made sense.
Yeah, Jen just said, I just took a trip with my mother. We went to her homeland, South Korea. It was full of mixed emotions. I mean, it was really interesting when you were talking, Kelly. I was getting this impression like, ask your family stories about the past.
Yeah,
Really, really good right now.
for
You know,
sure.
I think that would be, you had that trip with your mom. She probably has some more stuff to unpack about it, is really what I'm getting. And she may have, of course, it's going to be mixed feelings. I mean, going back to your home country, it is. it's got to feel like, so many things about the people that stayed and the people that left, losing continuity, there can always, but it's interesting, like the 5 of Cups or the 5 of Jars always has like this yin yang, like there's a negative focusing on the negative, but if you turn around, you can focus on the positive. So I think sometimes in situations like your mom's situation where she left something behind, she could have these feelings of like all the things she missed out on, right? All the connections, all the family times that she missed out on, missing her culture and so many things, right? But what did she gain? And helping to see what she gained and helping to see what she accomplished rather than what she missed out on could be a
Yeah.
wonderful way that you could be of service to her, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Powerful way to help heal.
Yeah, to heal, absolutely. So I think that 5 of Cups also has a little message of the solution in it too, which is, it's like FOMO, right? We can be doing one thing, but missing out on another thing, and we have FOMO about it and like, "Oh, why,
Yeah.
I could have been at that thing instead of doing this," but you gotta look at what you did do instead of what you didn't do.
Well,
'Cause there's a bazillion things you didn't do, right?
and also that Aries moon, the moon often represents our mother, our experience of our mother in our chart. And so that Aries moon, um, you probably inherited the ability to really strike out and do stuff on your own, whether you think you do or you got it from her or not. Like somewhere along the line, that was given to you, and it's a great gift. So maybe connecting with her on that level, the fact that she struck out on her own and left her home country and is here with you, that's a powerful experience as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jen. That was very sweet. Thank you. Thank you. We have Universal Soul Goddess. Guys, we only have 10 more minutes. So if you want to get a reading in, get it in. Super chat, Venmo, PayPal. Last chance, last call. All right. So 3 card reading for Universal Soul Goddess. Guidance for the week. Another Aquarian baby for us. We have a lot of Aquarius energy in the readings today. I love it. I love it. All right, let's see. Got to put my glasses on for this tiny print. Okay, here we go. All right, it looks like there's stuff around your health and wealth. We've got lots of Pentacles energy, plus a little spiritual stuff in between. Um, First card is the 2 of Pentacles. So this may be like issues about money showing up for you in this week where you're having to juggle finances or having to rearrange things to make things work financially. It can also be about, but it does reflect that ability to do that. It can also be about, making some changes to health, doing more of this and less of that kind of thing. 2 of Pentacles always like says you're able to do it. Sometimes it can feel like you're juggling a lot, but you're able to do it, and that really is showing up in this week. Especially, I just get the sense this is more about like money and business and things like that, career and things like that. But I love it. It's really a beautiful card. I love this image too. In the winter time, little boats in the background. It's really beautiful. Love that. Second card is the Star card. Um, Star card is about really connecting spiritually. So this is about really doing your spiritual work, meditation. Maybe you need to bring back, as we look at these cards together, bring back a little more of a meditation practice or reinvigorate your meditation practice in some way. But this is a still card, a taking some time out, taking some stillness. I think this energy can be a little frantic. Not that he's frantic, he's just doing it. He's working hard at it. But in the middle, we have this beautiful little break. And so taking a little break, doing some self-care, doing some spiritual work. This is going to be really well rewarded this week. Third card is 4 of Pentacles, which means finances are all as well with the finances. Um, I'm looking at the image. I'm just enjoying looking at these new images that we see.
Mm,
4 of Pentacles may be the worry or the fear that things are not going to work out, but that all is well. So I think that with that 2 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles, where we have this like issues around money, with that star card in between the two of them, I would say you can do some beautiful manifestation work. If you want to do some abundance meditations this week, they'll be super rewarded. This will be really, really good. Um, it can be a really, really rewarding experience to just take some time out and do some spiritual work around your money issues, around your career issues, and all of these things that you're handling. All is well. It's not like it's you're having to mitigate something, but I feel like there's this tension or this fear that I have to keep juggling these things and keeping the plates on the sticks and all of that, and that can sometimes burn us out, So do a little spiritual work along with all your material work. Paying off some debt this week. Yeah. Starting a no meat, no sweets diet and doing mindful meditation with my sister. Also a big meeting this week. Yeah. I all is well with the 2 and the 4 of Pentacles, but taking that time and doing your mindful meditation with your sister, I think is really good. Yeah. All your money things are going to be handled. It's going to be good.
mm.
So what do you have there?
Well, I love that you're starting that kind of a diet because you have a Virgo moon. Virgo moon loves to do that kind of stuff. Um, so Jupiter, as it just entered Gemini is crossing your Gemini ascendant and entering into your first house. You've already got Venus and the Sun sitting there. That's the house of the body. That's the house of physicality. So all that, so you're feeling really lit up right now in you're feeling wanting to feel embodied, and all of that stuff is being lit up, and it's going to be activating that Virgo moon and talking to it, and your moon sits there with Saturn, so you have a lot of discipline when it comes to those things, or you're asked to have a lot of discipline with that, and it's kind of, that's lovely. It's great. So Jupiter coming in, it's like Jupiter's going to make you want to go big. So it is a good time to kind of go, ooh, I'm going to eliminate, sweets and stuff. I would be careful of the extremes of that. So, that it might make you go really, really extreme with that. So, just keep that in mind. But Venus sitting there, the sun sitting there, like all of that, like this is like the sun going through there. This happens every year for you. Around this time, the sun enters that part of your chart. So having Venus and Jupiter there along for the ride, it's nice. It's going to feel good.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, that star card is all about that, just receiving that beautiful
Mm-hmm.
spiritual gifts and replenishment. I always think of like that can be like a spa day too, lovely, just something lovely, like, just treating yourself or taking some downtime,
I
meditation.
always say, treat yourself like a star. Buy
Yeah.
yourself flowers, get yourself a bottle of champagne, whatever you think stars do, do it for yourself.
I love that. I love that. Well, for Universal Soul Goddess, it will be vegan, no sugar champagne. No alcohol, no sugar, no nothing. But
whatever makes you feel fabulous, do it.
yes. Oh my gosh. Well, you guys, thank you so much. We had a little curtailed short one today. I'm in the middle of a book and I'm super exhausted. I haven't eaten dinner and gonna get cranky in a minute. So we only did a short one today, but we raised $80. I'll be throwing in some extra cash. Thank you guys so much for that. I'll throw in some money too as well. Thank you so much. We helped 2 seniors this week, and this is awesome. We'll be back next week at 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern time, where we'll meet again. And we will do readings to raise money. Next week, we'll probably have the Love Witch, I'm guessing, as my co-host. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Miss Kelly, for being here. You're so awesome. If you want a reading with Miss Kelly, don't forget, you can follow her on Instagram. What is it, Miss Kelly Now 13 or whatever?
No, Miss Kelly Magic.
Miss Kelly Magic.
You helped me come up with that name.
Okay, thank you. Miss Kelly Magic. There it is. You can follow her. And you can find out where she's going to be doing live readings. Of course, you can get a remote reading anytime by going to Parlor of Wonders and booking a session with her. And you can book a session with me online at the Parlor of Wonders. Just go to parlorofwonders.com, go to services, and you'll see all the offerings that we have there. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We'll see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you. A special big thank you to Erica, Roger, Jen and Universal Soul Goddess. So thankful for you guys making your donations. And we'll see you all next week, everybody.